Hi, everyone. Mitch from sportschatplace.com and pickdogs.com here with the Puck Dogs. Chris Ruffalo, Rod Zawacki, in no particular. Anyways, certainly running out of things to talk about, but still so much to talk about. It's just, a world without sports is not a happy place for many of us. And we know that. And, the idea of the show isn't to sit here and complain about what we don't have. It's to look at what is going on and, maybe what the future looks like for sports, at least the near-term future. And we know that when, October rolls around this year, that, this will all be something of the past. And by next year, we'll forget all about it. We'll be like, oh, yeah, it's weird, right? But right now it is the present. And we know that, a lot of people are affected, not just in the sports world, but, all around, because it's like one of those things where it's like I've never had time off before at all like this, and I still don't have time off. I've been meeting with consultants behind the scenes. I had a really productive call yesterday, and I'm still working with our tech people on a lot of things that we've been working on behind the scenes. I even wrote a few articles over on Sports Chat Place. You can see them there as well. So the guys are still writing. So we have stuff going on. And of course, NFL free agency, Ryan Tannehill, $300 million in career earnings. Amari Cooper, $20 million a year. Paid. Chris, do you think Amari Cooper is the second best wide receiver in the NFL?
No.
Is he in the top 10? $20 million a year. I mean, the Cowboys have the number one paid running back, the number two paid wide receiver, but actually his deal is really worth more than Julio Jones. And they're going to have the highest paid quarterback.
Welcome to Jerry World.
It just doesn't even make sense, It's
and that's going to make.
I could see some of these other deals, but it's like if the Cowboys, it's like if you look at what Buffalo paid for Diggs, right? And like if you think if the Cowboys could have done that, don't you think they'd be in a better place? I just don't. I don't even understand how you give Amari Cooper $100 million. I don't even understand it. Yeah. It's like, did he even catch a ball this season? I mean, I don't know. He had that game against New England. What was that, last season or the season before? And we haven't heard from this guy since, as far as I'm concerned.
He kind of drops. Oh, drop ball.
Yeah, I mean, the Cowboys, this is a team where you're paying up for this quarterback, right? And I had this discussion when Steve Monahan was here with his Roger Staubach jersey hanging behind him in the background, right? You're paying for this quarterback who, when push came to shove at the end of the season, you just needed to win one game. And you couldn't even do that. And we're talking home games against lousy teams. We're talking everything. Let's look at the Dallas Cowboys real quickly. And I know, man, I wish I could say, I wish we had people in the comments saying, just get to the picks already, It's like, I long for the day. And I'll tell you what, when it comes back to that, I'm probably going to have a real different attitude about it. People screaming out their picks, people whatever. It's like, you know what? I wish people would be screaming out their picks today, It's like I wish it. But let's take a look at the Dallas Cowboys and, see exactly how they get there. I don't even understand this. I really don't. How do you have the three highest paid skill position players and they're the same guys that were with the team last year, and when push came to shove at the end of the season, they lost. So it came down to the Patriots, the Bills. So at New England, excusable. At home against the Bills. Then the loss at Chicago. They beat the Rams. Remember that night game? Then they lost at Philadelphia, and they beat the Redskins in the final game of the season. So they beat the Eagles at home. They beat the Giants twice. They beat the Dolphins. They beat the Redskins twice. So basically, they beat the top 10 drafting teams in the NFL. I mean, basically, that's what they beat here. Except for the Rams, who probably are drafting, like 15th, something. They're just, the Rams, if there would have been expanded playoffs, the Rams would have been in this year, right, if they would have expanded. So they certainly didn't deserve it. And, I mean, you look at the three highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL. If Dak Prescott signs this deal, it will be Carson Wentz, Jared Goff, and Dak Prescott. Do any of those guys look like NFL Hall of Famers? Even? I don't even see it.
Not yet.
No.
I don't know. I don't know. Meanwhile, Tom Brady out in New England. Where does he go? The speculation was Tampa Bay earlier, but I'm going to say right now that I'm going to say it's going to be the Chargers. It's my guess. Seems like a perfect spot for him. My guess is that the Chargers still use that first-round pick on a quarterback. Maybe they even trade up. And I think that you groom him under Brady, and nothing could be better than that. I think that Tom Brady, when he used the wording of his goodbye, talking about how he's a California boy and all of that stuff, it kind of was a saying, I'm going to California. I really thought that was what it was saying. So
That's what it's like. He wants to be closer to where his wife is. That makes sense.
it makes sense. I mean,
Philip Rivers going to go to the Colts,
and that makes a lot of sense too.
I think that's all but wrapped up. They just got to sign the paperwork.
I think it's a perfect fit for him.
Yep.
I think it's perfect fit, and I think he can win there. I do think he can win there. It's a team that won a playoff game the prior season. They had a lot of injuries this past year, but he's got the guys that he needs there. He's got like the little slot receiver. He's got, T.Y. Hilton who can run down the field. They add another guy in there. Man, too bad they didn't get DeAndre Hopkins, right? And
yeah.
Imagine that. Really one of the most bizarre trades, right, that you'll ever see in the NFL. And it's like you're kind of waiting for a story to come out of this. Is like DeAndre Hopkins for David Johnson and some other lousy picks. I don't even understand this trade. David Johnson is not even like a viable option. I know that fantasy players went goo goo gaga over him a couple of years ago, but normally the guy that fantasy players go nuts over like that is usually the guy that busts out, right?
Yep.
He certainly has done that since then. Mostly a lot of injuries. He's small, right? He's not going to run between the tackles.
Yeah.
So, just interesting. DeAndre Hopkins, I understand this is a deep wide receiver class, and my guess is Hopkins is going to want even more money than what he's getting when he sees that Amari Cooper is getting $20 million a year. So, I mean, how can you justify this? Anyways, we'll get back to NFL free agency in a little bit. Chris, NHL has announced at least the loose ends of a plan. You want to talk about that a little bit here?
Yeah, right now it looks like at least late April from what I've been seeing, and I know they announced a roster freeze. Just trying to pull it up right now. I had it up.
I also read it.
Go ahead, Rod.
It's also read it's 45 days before the NHL is even going to look at getting people back into skating and back into arenas and stuff. I seen that last night before I went to bed. So 45 days from yesterday, then they'll start looking to get back into practice. So hockey, I'm looking at May. I'm looking at sometime in May.
Yeah, we're probably looking at mid-May.
Yeah.
at the very
And
early.
then they'll do that 24 team playoff thingy. That'd be exciting. I'd like to see that. I really like the format kind of style. That'd be kind of. I really hope we get to do it, or sooner, because all of this stuff could be sooner. Let's hope somebody finds something to. Somebody finds a cure for this virus before then.
I don't know if I agree with the 1 game playoff format. I think that a 2 out of 3 is a better format than a one and done. I think one and
One
done
and
leaves
done.
too much uncertainty. It's also, I think anything can happen in 1 game. If you play 2 out of 3, at least you have a better chance of the better team advancing.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just mine. Just my thoughts there.
Well, for sure, I best is a better way to go, but I don't think they have the time to be able to fit that all in.
What I do think though is that if they're not going to change the format, maybe you have to have a set number of games. Maybe if it, because right now there are a bunch of teams with 71 games played, and then you still have another bunch of teams that have 68. So set a number, maybe let's say 74 games. Give those teams that are on the bubble a chance to sneak in, while giving teams that are ahead a chance to solidify their playoff spot. But give everyone a fair shot at it, and then at that point, there's no, well, what if, you know, have a solidified answer in a season that had a bunch of uncertainty around it.
So I don't understand, like, everybody. When you say everybody, what does that mean? You know, like, what do you mean everybody? Like the Red Wings?
No, I mean, like, well, I mean, the
Uh,
Red Wings still have to be an opponent for somebody, though.
In the playoffs?
No, I just mean like in the regular season. Like, I mean, right now you still have teams that were sitting on 71 games played up to this point before the season halted. So I'm saying, like, if you have teams that are on 71 that are in a playoff spot right now, and you have a team that's on 69 that's on the outside looking in, have everyone play up to 74 regular season games. Somewhere along the line, the math is going to balance itself out.
So, all right. I mean, I don't personally, I think that you take the top teams now, and you just say, this is it, and, you have the top 8 that are locked in. They've earned that,
yeah.
they've earned that. So I just think that you have the top 8, and then you have these other 16 teams that kind of battle it out for that spot, for the spots to play against those 8. But you do it 2 out of 3, and you scrap the rest of the regular season at this point.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to go back to the regular season. I think they're just going to,
no trades, right? No nothing.
Yeah.
It's just you got to go with what you got. You can dig into your minor leagues, maybe expand the rosters. A couple of players.
Yeah. Some teams will do better than others because they have had injuries, all these injuries. Some players will come back.
Yep. But yeah, it's just an interesting scenario. The NBA is now saying, still August. Major League Baseball is saying mid-May. So it's going to be a little while. Is basically where we're at. So we got to kind of make the best of it here. But the NFL, is still active. So when would the NFL draft be? Because that, my guess, is going to be virtual at this point.
Yeah.
I think they said it was still planned for the same time around late April.
Yeah, April 23rd. So it's what we're seeing. The moves now are going to affect the draft. Obviously, and who's going to draft what. Like I said, I still think Tom Brady lands in San Diego, and I still think they draft a quarterback. When we look at some of these other free agent moves, Stephon Diggs to the Bills is a huge move, especially in that division. The Amari Cooper signing to me is a head scratcher. The Jets once again spending big. So, just a lot of movement there in free agency. Maybe we'll get Steve Monahan on here to talk about it, since the puck dogs don't seem as interesting. But anyways, anything else going on today, Chris? What are you up to? Are you guys sequestered or whatever you call it? Quarantine?
They declared a state of emergency here, so only like essential businesses are open. Grocery stores remain open, but restaurants are closed except for takeout or delivery for the next 2 weeks. All community-run services are shut down. It's starting to turn into a ghost town.
About where you
We're
are,
not that-
Rod. Rod lives in a small town.
We're not as. Even if you go in the city, it's still not as bad. Well, because we only have what did I see? 7 cases, or no, we have 74 cases in Alberta, 2 in Saskatchewan. I'm like right on the Saskatchewan border, so yeah, I'm 30 minutes, and I'm in Saskatchewan. So, and a small town. What we've done in a small town is any of like the fundraising, little small town events. Like you had dinners and all this. Like today, there would have been a big Irish stew, St. Patty's Day dinner at the Legion Hall, and well, that's canceled.
Today would have been the first 4. The first two games of the NCAA tournament would have been today as well.
I know.
And this will pass. And like I said, by the time the fall rolls around, this will all be long forgotten. But what we'll have to hope is that some of the lousy things that are going to happen now, all this virtual crap that needs to get real, is all going to go. Is a lot of that. It's going to be like, oh yeah, we did it this way before, so now let's do it now. And it's like, what we'll have to do is exploit those places that do that and basically steal their business, because nobody's going to like it, right? It's kind of It's kind of like, I don't know, have you called an airline recently, and tried to get through to a live person or a credit card company? It takes you like, how about when you call the company, right, and you like have a real problem, like you lost your card, and they tell you your balance. It's like, I didn't ask for that. It's like, this is really not why I'm calling. It's like, I lost my card. It's like, I need to stop it now,
And they give you all these other, hit option 2 for this option. And you're like, I don't want that option.
Oh yeah, and like with the business, especially like with Sports Chat and Pick Dogs, with everything that's gone on recently, I have really big tech bills, so it's like a lot of the charges that on the credit card that I've been putting through, because I put everything through to get miles, just like everyone else, right? I get because they're so big, I mean, when you're used to putting through, $35 for golf balls, and then all of a sudden you put through, a charge for, $25,000. All of a sudden, they deny the charge is what happens. You try and call them, and it's like, your balance is, it's like live person. But this is, it's definitely getting rough out here. Like I said, I think tomorrow we'll be a little bit more prepared. We'll maybe go over this free agency and see how it affects teams that are drafting. We'll look at the draft order and stuff like that in the NFL, and look at the free agents and where the holes are being filled. and maybe how that changes the look of the draft as well. Maybe we'll have some updates from some of these leagues as to what's going on. And we'll just go from there. But anyways, I just want to stay in touch with everyone, let you know you're not alone. I'm still participating in the Facebook group. I'm actually allowing a little bit more things in the Facebook group than I'm being a little bit more lenient. It doesn't mean we're going to keep it this way. As far as posting some links, as long as they're not to other businesses or things like that. If they're just informational, we're being a little more lenient on it, try and keep it light, But at the same time, it's like we're not going to change who we are and the purpose of our group because someone wants to bet other people on video games. It's like if you want to do that, you got to form your own group. Is the way that works.
That was a little ridiculous. I was like, "Oh, what the heck's this?"
Yeah.
And I read like, "What?"
Yeah, that's not okay. It's like that's not what our group is about.
We can't do that. I think this violates Facebook policy rules.
Yeah, it's like I'll book your action. It's like
exactly. It's like we're setting up an underground poker game. Come on, let's play poker. Which I bet you there's lots of popping up now since all these casinos are closing up. I know all the ones in Edmonton are closing up. And all the ones where Chris's are probably closed right up.
Yeah.
So people that were like, yeah, I can still play poker. Poker was hitting huge boom. You can see online when you go in the online pokers.
Oh, yeah.
It had look, there's 20,000 people. And now, look, there's over 200,000 people playing poker. It's like, holy man.
Yeah, I don't play online poker, but I'm considering it.
Right.
I used to play back in the day, like the old school,
Yeah. I've been doing the horses the last few days, and I hadn't even opened the Horsebook online account. I couldn't even remember the codes to get into the thing, so I had to call them up to get in. And I had $8. I was like, nice, I have $8 in here. So over the last 3 days, I parlayed my $8 up to $138. Playing $2 race, $2 a race.
Yeah, I honestly don't think that Tom Brady, like someone's saying, if he goes to Tampa Bay, they'll be the next Super Bowl champions. Hardly. I think Tom Brady's at the point in his career where he's going to be more of a game manager no matter where he goes.
Yeah. He could retire, but nobody could take him.
I don't think he's ready to retire. And it's like, usually the guys like this, they have trouble, closing it down at the end. And, Joe Montana, finished with the Chiefs. Johnny Unitas finished with the Chargers. This just happens, It's normal. Joe Namath with the Rams. It goes on and on. O.J. Simpson with the 49ers.
Yeah.
It goes on. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. It's rare that, you have a Dan Marino or John Elway where they just say, I'm good,
Yeah, Manning left the Colts.
Yep. Peyton Manning left the Colts.
I think that's what Brady's goal is. He wants to win another one with somebody else. But if he can win another championship with any other team, he'll retire.
Brett Favre played for the Vikings,
And he was that close if he would have thrown that back pass. It was an ugly back pass against the Saints that game. I was like, no, don't throw that. You're in field goal. No. I was cheering for him. I totally remember that game.
Anyways, if anyone has any ideas on what you want to talk about on this show, by all means, send them in. But we're going to try and keep it going. Man, I haven't seen website traffic like this. Zero. I understand we're sports pickers, and that's what we do. And especially with no sports going on, there's nothing that we can do that's going to produce interest from people. So we're just going to keep rolling along and to build ourselves up to be a better site in the future. And that's what, like I said, I'm doing behind the scenes. I met with a consultant yesterday. Went over some really high-level concepts for our organization and, what the future is going to look like. Most people know I own, Sports Chat and Pick Dogs, and I plan on opening up within the next 2 years at least 10 more sites. So I have one other one that I forgot that I owned, that I actually do own, and that one is outside of the sports industry, which we were talking about before the show started. But that's my plans, and that's what I'm doing now. But for our premium area, if you are a sports handicapper and you have experience in sports handicapping, you can reach out to me, Mitch at pickdogs.com, and we'll consider having you on our premium area, where you can be one of our premium cappers, as well as be on some of our shows and things like that. The time is now. I tell you, the time isn't when. This is what I always get, whenever I say things like this. It's like, number one, I always get, I'm the best, right? You're not the best, okay? Whoever says that means, if you say I'm the best, that means you're not the best, But I always get, like, when I ask for writers, I always get, like, right at March Madness when the brackets released. I want to write college basketball. It's like, the time was, September, when the season started in October. So right now, while things are down, this is the time. The time is now. So anyways, I'm going to wrap it up, man. We got not a lot to say, and these guys are just, I think they're going through the motions. Tomorrow we're going to be a little bit more prepared. Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you. Appreciate everyone joining in. Have a great day.